You are watching a master at work.
I'm going to be sharing with you a few tips and tricks on how to make your ship building a little more beautiful and a little more powerful on Starfield. Consider subscribing to help the channel grow, drop a big fat like on the video, and let's get right on into it. Everything that I'm about to show you works on both PC and console, and it doesn't require any type of mod. First up, we're going to be talking about how you're going to be able to duplicate weapons and place them in the same exact place on top of each other, which is going to double up your firepower without taking up weapon placement slots on your ship. Now, in order to do this specific glitch, you're going to need a controller, and you're going to need to either be at one of your own shipyards or a shipyard that has said weapon available. The reason I say this is because when you're highlighted over the actual weapon, you're going to need the option to duplicate. In this case here, this weapon that I'm highlighted over now does not, but if I highlight this next weapon, it does. If you do have your own star yard on an outpost, you are going to have access to 95% of the parts on the game, and if not, you'll have to be at a star yard where that specific part is available. Now, this glitch can be a little bit tricky. Again, you need to be on a controller and you need to be highlighted over the weapon. And what we're going to do here is quickly double tap the options to duplicate and edit at the same exact time. You're going to double tap those buttons twice fast. And if done correctly, you're going to see a second weapon just offset from the first weapon, but in the same exact place. After you've done it, if the part is highlighted in red, you've done it incorrectly, but if it's not, you've hit it perfectly. Don't get discouraged. It may take you a couple of tries to actually hit it, as it did me the first time I did it as well. But again, if you did hit it, it's not going to be highlighted in red, and you'll see two weapons sitting there side by side, slightly off pixel. At this point, you can back out of it and accept that change to your ship. Another indicator that you've hit it correctly is you'll notice that your mass has went up a few pounds. Feel free to do this with every weapon on your ship to double up on firepower. Next up, we're going to be talking about parts snapping and a few different variations of it. That's going to allow you to merge parts into other parts to make them look seamless. I'm going to be showing you every variation of this glitch, and you can choose what's going to be best suited for you. As you can see here in our mock-up build, we have a cockpit connected to a hull with a crowl on top. Now, in this example, let's say we want our crowl to breach through our cockpit to set on it just like this. As you can see, you can't do it because it's highlighted in red, even though it snaps in that place. So in order to make this happen, as long as we have a snapping point right there behind the cockpit, in which we do, what we're going to do is grab the piece, we're going to move it off to the side, we're going to choose the option to flip it, and now we're going to try our best to line up the snapping points and bring it as close as possible. You want to make sure that it's not breached through and it's not highlighted in red. With it in position as close as possible, tap the option to flip, and it's going to flip right in place and be highlighted in green. From there, choose the option to place it to make it official. This is known as the flip glitch non-snap. The next variation of this same glitch is going to be the flip glitch snapped, in which I'm going to take both of these crowlings and I'm going to merge the tips of them together to make it as one. So while I have the part selected, I'm going to tap left or right to switch variants to find the variant that's facing the opposite direction, and I'll then slide it into place, as you can see here, where they're facing together with the noses merged. Now what we're going to do this time, while it's highlighted in red, is we're going to choose the option to flip, we're then going to flip it back, and then we're going to choose the option to cancel. And by canceling it out, the part is now fully set in place and merged. And that's known as the flip glitch snapped, or what I like to call the flip cancel. And lastly, the third variation of this same exact glitch is going to be the cycle cancel. It's based off the same premise. You're going to place the part where you want it, and here we're going to have it partially merged through the cockpit. Instead of flipping it, what we're going to do is choose the option to cycle either left or right, and then cycle back. After you've done so, you can then cancel, and that part is now placed and merged into whatever part you have nearby. And again, that's what I like to call the cycle cancel, the third variation of the same exact glitch that will get you similar results. This next part glitch is going to be a merge glitch, and it's very simple to do. I want you to pay attention. This is going to allow you to merge parts through other parts entirely, but this time we're going to be doing it by duplicating the item, and it's going to shift either above or below right into place exactly where we want it. So as you can see here, we want to place this wing up against our hull and to breach through the other part that's attached to the hull already. Now obviously we can't ordinarily do it, but in order to get around this, what we're going to do is place another hull that has two clipping points just above that same part. We're then going to take the wing, we're going to attach it to the hull that's just above it. We're going to highlight the wing, and you're going to tap Y or whatever button you use to duplicate. It's then going to duplicate that item and attach it to the nearest snapping points, which is right below it, breach through the hull. As you can see, it's highlighted in green, and from there you just simply officialize it and delete the parts that you don't need just above it. And it's as simple as that. Now last but definitely not least is another merge glitch, but this merge glitch is pretty overpowered. With this next merge glitch, we're going to be able to condense necessary ship parts into a 1x1 cubicle to take up much less space than what they would ordinarily. Now this glitch might seem a little bit complicated, but I'm going to try to simplify it as much as possible because it's very easy to do once you get the hang of it. So I recommend that you just test it out, follow along with the video, and try it for yourself. Thanks to Two Smoking Barrels for showing me this during his live stream, and let's get with it. The first thing you're going to do is select the hab that's 1x1 and place it, preferably one that has connection points at all sides and especially top and bottom. Now that you have one selected out, you're going to place it and then place another one just above it. Now at this point, we're going to select two main parts or key components to a ship that you have to have, and we're going to merge them together. In this case, we're going to be using a grav drive and a fuel tank. We're going to select the grav drive and we're going to place it to where just the top edge of it is attached to that 1x1 hull on the bottom. Next, we'll grab the fuel tank and we're going to attach it to where the bottom of the fuel tank is attached to the upper hab, directly above that grav drive. Now just to give you some insight on exactly how this works, I'm going to go highlight one of the habs, and I'm going to highlight the upper one. If I tap triangle on it, it's going to duplicate, and because there's room above it, it's going to duplicate upwards. Same thing applies to the bottom. If you duplicate the bottom one because there's room beneath it, it's going to duplicate downwards. And now that you understand that, what we're going to do here is select the grav drive, the one that's on the bottom, and we're going to select the top hab, because what we want to do here is lift that grav drive up into the fuel tank because it's above it. So with the grav drive and the upper hab selected, what we're going to do is highlight the hab and tap Y. It's going to duplicate upwards, and that new duplicate is going to be partially merged. Now we're going to select the partially merged grav drive, and then we're going to select the upper hab, and we're going to choose the option to duplicate yet again. And once you've done this for a second time, that grav drive is going to be fully merged into that fuel tank. From there, all you have to do is simply delete all the other grav drives and delete all those extra habs that you have, and you'll now have a grav drive and a fuel tank that's merged completely into a 1x1 cubicle. Ideally, you would want to do this in the center of the actual build screen, that way you can build the remainder of your ship around this. You can also merge more than two parts into each other if you choose to do so. And if all else fails, if you need to, you can move these parts around by attaching habs to them, then selecting all, and then moving them all as one piece. Definitely take advantage of this glitch because it's going to allow you to compact some of those important components and hide them or disguise them within your build. As always, I do greatly appreciate you all for tuning in, and I appreciate all the continued support. Consider subscribing if you'd like to help the channel grow. Drop a big fat like on the video, and let me know you did in the comments below. It's your boy, J Stone, and I'm gone.
Subscribe on Daddy's channel.